Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever the time is wherever you are. Thank you for clicking on my video. You are highly welcome to my channel. If this is the first time you're stopping on the channel and seeing my face, I appreciate your love, I appreciate your support. Thank you. My name is Ajala, and by all means subscribe to this channel. On this channel, this is a highly Nigeria-centric and Afro-centric channel. I talk about anything and everything that I feel affects Africans, especially African women, because for the most part I believe that there is several of the issues that confront Africa and the solutions lie with African women. We have to stay down in order to keep somebody down. So all the cultural practices that you know that that subjugates women, these are the issues that I want to highlight on my channel. This is where I vent, this is where I interact with my subscribers and we have fun. If this is something you are interested in, of course subscribe to this channel. And for those of you who are coming back, you have subscribed and you have come back again to watch my video, thank you. You guys know I love you very much. I really appreciate it, and I'd like us to go straight to whatever it is I want to talk about. The one mistake that I have made in my life that I regret, and I wish that as many Nigerian women as possible would learn from that mistake and don't have to make it. I believe that I should make the mistake for and on behalf of all of us. Back when I was in the university, I was in my third year in the university, my dad gave me some money when I was going to resume school. So he gave me my school fees, he gave me my pocket money, and he said that is all he's going to give me for this semester. That back then 30,000 naira sounded like a lot of money, but it is not in fact a lot of money, because when I buy food stuff, when you put in transport money to and from lecture hall, if you went to Unijos is the University of Jos. Jos is in northern Nigeria. So if you went to Unijos, then I was living in a Arabuta hostel, and it meant I had to pay transport money to go for lectures and back. What about other things that I wanted to do? And I felt like the money was not going to be enough for me, but I wasn't dating anybody who I could ask for money or anything. I was just on my own. And I decided that I wasn't going to ask anybody for money, or my dad or anybody. So I decided I'm going to start a business. I took this 30,000 naira my dad gave to me after I paid my school fees. I went to the market and bought flour, I bought butter, I bought sugar, I bought every basic ingredient that you need in order to start a baking business. Yes, so I began to bake and I started a baking business. There was this lady in my class who was selling cakes that time, but I felt like her cakes weren't good enough. And then what's the beauty of the whole market if there can't be competition? But I didn't want the lady to accuse me of taking away her market or something like that. So I made my cakes more expensive. They were of a different grade, different class, you know, that kind of thing. So I made vanilla cakes, I made strawberry cakes and chocolate cakes, and I began to hawk it. Back then, everybody was like, Angela, so you mean you can sell cake? I said, yes, of course, I can sell cake. Come and buy cakes. And that was one of the best times of my life. That was one of the most challenging times of my life. But it was also some of the best days of my life, because all of a sudden, I found that I didn't have any time to be idle. It was between me and my academics on the one hand, and then my business on the other hand. I remember back then, Tuesdays used to be my lecture free day, and that was the day I would rush to the market to go and buy everything that I needed. I had shops that I was supplying cakes to all over the university, and then some in the hostel, and then I also had the ones that I used to market by myself. It was one of the best days of my life. It was also very challenging, because every day when my mates were sleeping, I would be awake baking. I had decided then that I wanted to be known as the person who supplied quality cakes. I didn't want to be the person who was known to cut corners. So I gave my customers my word that my cake was always going to be freshly baked, and I stood by it. Every day I would supply cakes all over the place where I will supply, and then the ones that I'm going to take to the hostel, to the class to sell, I would take to the class and sell. That meant I was very, very busy. I didn't have time to engage in idle chit-chat with anybody. All the things that, you know, people used to do, you know, as a result of having too much free time. I never had that free time. But in the end, my academics suffered, because I started that one at the beginning of my third year in the university. And if you were in Unijos, you'll know that that's one of the toughest sessions when you are in the university. So while my mates were reading, it got to a point where I was so busy making money and counting money that my academics began to suffer for it. By the time I was the end of my second semester of 300 level, my CGPA had gone down. I was comfortably in the 2-1 reading until when I started the business. So I got to a point where I was like, Angela, you have to decide what you are doing in the university. Did we come to the university to bake cakes, or we came to the university to study law? And I decided that let me give my academics priority. So I kept the business aside. I would only do the business while I was on holidays. By my 3rd year and my 4th year, my final year in the university, I was not even baking at all. And this brings me to the reason why I am doing this video. Honestly speaking, if I look back at my life, one of the biggest things that I regret is not continuing that business. Because by the time I went to my final year in the university, I had to go to law school. For the duration of time when I waited, from when I finished the university to when I went to law school, it was about 3 months or so. And I was still baking, I was still in the business, but on a low key kind of. I wasn't really as aggressive as I was. And you know, starting a new business, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of energy, and I didn't have that to give. I was getting ready to go to law school, and when I went to law school, I went to law school in Lagos, Victoria Island, Lagos. And in law school, we were not allowed to, we didn't even have the time. How to engage in what? You understand that kind of thing? I didn't even have time to cook. We were not even allowed to cook in the hostels, let alone have time to bake. And that was how this business died. And that is one big regret that I have. Back then in the university, they used to call me the class Mr. Biggs. They used to call me the cake mistress. I had people who had come to depend on me for their pastry supplies. And I let that business go down. Other people have taken up and they've grown their own brands. Now, it's not like I am broke right now, or that I need the business in order to survive or something. But when I look back, it is a baby I abandoned. I had very, very big dreams about starting this cake business. It was going to grow. I'm going to spread it all over Nigeria. And oh my God, I had such big dreams for that business. And today that baby is dead. I feel so terribly bad about it. And if there's anything that you ask me to turn back the hands of the clock in order for me to undo, it is that particular mistake. The mistake of setting aside my business so that I can face my academics. Now, it's not like, of course I have my law degree, I'm a practicing lawyer, but I still feel like that is a part of me that I did not explore, and I feel so bad about it. Why am I saying this all on this video today? Because there are several women who feel like who are listening to me right now, and you feel like your dreams are not valid, your aspirations are not valid, or you cannot do it, you are afraid, you think that there's too much competition in the market. Use me as an example. If you are listening to me, especially if you are in Africa, one of the worst things that any woman can do to herself is to not have a means of livelihood, to not have a job or a business or something that sustains you. Then you go and get married. I didn't make the mistake of getting married without a source of livelihood, but I think it would have been very wonderful if I had had 2 sources of livelihood. What's so wrong with me having a fantastic business, a fantastic pastry business and ice cream business, because I was planning to branch also into ice cream and then still be practicing law. Yes, it would have been difficult, but there are many people who are doing it and they are succeeding at it. Start a business if you are listening to me and you are within the shores of Nigeria, especially if you are in your 20s. Right now, I'm in my 30s. I have 2 children to look after. I have a business practice. I have civil service to do. And I just don't have the time, but I want to live vicariously through the people who are listening to me. So start a business. Whatever it is you are interested in, start it and do not be afraid. I've made a video about what I want young people to do if you're in your 20s. I'm going to drop the link in the description box, and I'm going to also put it in the suggested videos. Don't be afraid of failure like me. I felt like I couldn't do it because I couldn't do many things at the same time. But if you're in your 20s, what exactly are you doing with your time? Start a business, start a trade, do something that can earn you a lot of money when you are in your 30s and in your 40s. Don't be like me, and that's the reason for my video. That's what I want to chat us about today. If you have a contrary opinion, or you even want to agree with me, I'd like to know what you want to say in the comment section. Feel free. As always, I always interact with everybody in the comment section. Drop me a comment and then drop me a like also, because when I see many likes on a video, I conclude that these are the kind of videos that my viewers and subscribers would like, and I'm going to do more of it. So please drop me a like if you really like this video, and if you have not subscribed to the channel, do so right now, that would be a very, very good time. And I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. As always, I'm going to see you all in my next video. I'm not exactly in a good mood psychologically right now, because my neighbor lost his son and it's been a very trying time for us. I just decided I have to come and do this video right now because I've been meaning to do it for a while. I will see you all in my next video. Thank you so much. As always, bye bye. My name is Ajala. Thank you for listening.